Hey guys, it's Haley and welcome to another bookish video. Today I'm going to be doing my first book haul of 2024, hauling all the books that I got for Christmas and everything in between. I did some fun traveling to different places over the holidays and went to bookstores that I've never had the opportunity to go to before, so I got a ton of stuff and I'm so excited to share it with you. I do just want to mention, because every time I wear big earrings like this, I get a ton of comments about them. These earrings Cameron got me for Christmas. They are like a little eyeball with a lightning. If you don't know, one of the first tattoos that I ever got, my very first tattoo actually, was this for Crying Lightning by the Arctic Monkeys, and obviously this was like the perfect gift for me, but I wanted to tell you guys where you can get them because I always get comments about my earrings. They are from a small business in Austin called Roadside Rose. I'm sure they have an Instagram or an Etsy. If I can find it, I will link it down below because this is like my favorite present that I got. I think they're so gorgeous and it's so meaningful too. So yeah, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the books. I'm gonna start out with gifty kind of things. I'm very excited to show all my Christmas gifts. Obviously, disclaimer, like 2012 disclaimer, this is giving like makeup guru Christmas haul disclaimer, but like I'm not trying to brag, okay? I love gifting. Gifting is my love language. It's how I show love, but it's also how I receive love, and I love a lot of the gifts that I got this Christmas, so I'm gonna show you guys. Starting out with the series that makes up 20% of this haul. Okay, that's a big portion of this haul. I have like 51 or 52 books to show you, but this is 9 of them. Okay, and that is the Throne of Glass series in paperback because I love to read paperback. I much prefer a paperback to a hardback, and I have these new covers, so I will run through the whole series just to show y'all. First one, Throne of Glass. Then we have Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire. I absolutely love the cover of this one. Queen of Shadows, Empire of Storms, and Tower of Dawn, which I'm gonna do these in my Throne of Glass vlog as a tandem read. I'm very excited for that. And of course, the last book in the series, Kingdom of Ash. I was so excited to get those, and I also went and got by myself the Assassin's Blade paperback that matches those covers. So here we have the Assassin's Blade one, and this is my current read. I'm absolutely loving it. It is the prequel set of novellas that follow the main character of the Throne of Glass series, Selena. I'm so hyped for this. I'm vlogging this over on my Patreon, and obviously my Throne of Glass vlog is coming at some point towards the end of this month or the next, depending on how fast I can read this series and how quickly I'm able to edit the massive amount of footage I'm sure I'm gonna have. So yeah, that's like the first massive chunk of the haul that I wanted to get out of the way because wow, it's a lot. 8 books, that's a lot. That is a lot. And then one of the other things that Cameron gifted me was a Kindle sleeve. So it's not a book, but I wanted to show you guys that as well. Look at this Kindle sleeve. Is this not so cute? It says Hot Girls Cry Over Fictional Characters with the like moon and star print. This is so me. And I have my little Kindle in here. I have a Kindle Paperwhite, and then I have a little sticker on it that says definitely not smut, even though we all know that it is. So I'm absolutely in love with my little Kindle sleeve, and I wanted to show you guys. I wish I knew the small business so you guys could shop this one too, but I do not have a card for this one. Okay, continuing with the gifts, because I literally just got a package to my door. Like just now. The brief intermission that y'all did not see but I experienced was the dogs freaking out because I had something delivered, and I was like, I didn't order anything. A gift for me from Aspen? My bestie sent me a gift. Hello. I love her. Thank you, Miss Aspen. Y'all should go subscribe to her, not just because she sends me gifts, because she is awesome. So sweet. I know her in real life, and she is seriously a gem. I also love her content Please go watch it. She's phenomenal. And she literally just sent me Penance by Kanae Minato, which I love Kanae Minato. I loved Confession, so I cannot wait to read this one. It says, one afternoon, 5 girls encounter a mysterious stranger at the neighborhood park, and the stranger tricks them into leaving their friend alone with him. Then the unthinkable occurs. She is found dead, and the case goes unsolved. Blaming the surviving girls, the dead girl's mother curses them, swearing they will pay the price for her daughter's murder. On the 15th anniversary of her death, the women all revisit that fateful day, tracing its effects on the rest of their lives. It is a voice-driven tale of revenge and psychological trauma that will leave you breathless. Hello. I need it immediately. And she also sent me a little book of horror stories by Sonora Taylor called Little Paranoias. I have been wanting to read this collection for so long. Y'all know I love little short story horror collections. There are 20 tales in here of little things that drive our deepest fears. So just teeny tiny little types of things that drive your fears, like crust, okay, walking alone, hollow places. Ooh, yeah, I think this is gonna be good. Thank you, Miss Aspen. I love you. I also had a book sent to me from one of the sweetest patrons. I had placed a Pango Books order that never came to fruition. Like, the seller that I bought from just never sent me the book that I bought. And one of my sweet patrons, when I was complaining about it, was like, hey, I have that book. I actually don't want it. I will send it to you. And she sent me that along with some sweets that are not available here in the US because she is from across the pond. So thank you so much for that, Charlie. Me and Cameron absolutely devoured those. But she sent me The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson. I've heard so many good things about this one. And the next time I want like a spooky vibe, this is definitely the one I'm gonna pick up. It's about a girl named Emmanuelle who finds the diary of her dead mother, and fascinated and fearful of the secrets inside the diary, she begins to understand why her mother once consorted with the witches. As the truth about the prophets around her, which I think is like the religious community that she's in, and their history is revealed, so Emmanuelle understands what must be done. It's giving fantasy, but in like a spooky, witchy, approachable way to me. And since I'm in my fantasy era, I thought this would be perfect. Also on my Patreon, we do a book exchange every single holiday season, and it has been so fun. My Secret Santa this year absolutely fucking killed it. We're like making little wish lists and everything, so our Secret Santa has some guidance. My Secret Santa went completely rogue, got nothing from my gift list, and I'm so glad she did. Leah, oh my god. Leah, one of my patrons, was my Secret Santa. She murdered this Secret Santa gift exchange. The books that she picked out for me, I like better than anything on my wish list. And she was just so sweet, so intentional. Literally, she lives across the pond, and y'all know my fascination with everything British, specifically Arctic monkeys. Hello. I have 9 tattoos that represent Arctic monkey songs. Hello. If you know the lore, then you know. Alex Turner of Arctic Monkeys fame is from Sheffield. She got me this little candle that's supposed to smell like a park that is referenced in songs from Arctic Monkeys, and it smells like, I imagine Alex Turner smells like this because it smells like his home. And am I ever gonna burn this? No. I will literally keep this forever and sniff it like a crazy person. If Alex Turner smells like this, all my dreams are real. I'm psycho. Anyway, she sent me that. Thank you so much, Leah. And she also picked out the best trio of books from a little independent bookstore, which I love that she was supporting them. She sent me Bloom by Delilah S. Dawson, which, if y'all remember, I loved The Violence by Delilah S. Dawson. It was actually a previous book club pick for my Pretty Girl book club. My only complaint about that book was that it was too damn long. And you know what? Delilah listened. because her next book, this is short as hell. It's also blurbed by Eric LaRocca, Chuck Wendig, Hailey Piper, and Paul Tremblay. Hello? Also, this is where she got the books from, Juno Books. If you're in the UK, go support this indie bookstore. Bloom, though, is about Rosemary meeting Ash at the farmer's market, selling bars of soap in pastel colors, beeswax candles, jelly jars of honey, and glossy green plants. Rosemary has never felt this way about another woman. With Ash, she wants to be her and have her in equal measure. As her obsession consumes her, she may find she is not the one doing the devouring. It's giving queer, obsessive, romantic horror. Yeah. And The Pisces by Melissa Broder, which if you watched my Best Books of 2023 video, you will know that Milk Fed by Melissa Broder was one of my favorite books of the year. It says Lucy, recovering from a bad breakup, becomes entranced by an eerily attractive swimmer while sitting on the beach rocks one night. When she learns the truth about his identity, their relationship, and Lucy's understanding of what love looks like takes an unexpected turn. It's supposed to be laugh out loud funny, but also Melissa Broder always writes like weird dark stuff, which I absolutely love. Sounds perfect. And she also sent me a nonfiction book, which I am super interested in, called Men Who Hate Women, The Extremism Nobody Is Talking About by Laura Bates. I literally, when I opened this package, I was like, I need to read this right now. I feel like this is going to be the most validating, cathartic experience to read this. If you're a woman in the world, you're probably aware of the men who just hate you on sight. And even though people like to gaslight women all day long and say, that's not true, that's in your head, you're just crazy. No, this is the real research of it all. And I'm gonna take this in and probably do all the little girly pop things. I'm gonna wear my most Y2K bimbo ass outfit while I read this book and like go read it in a bar sipping a Cosmopolitan and trigger all the men who see me sitting in the bar. That is my plan for reading this book. Again, thank you so much, Leah. Literally means so much. You were so good at picking out books for me. I am so appreciative. And the last gift that I want to show you guys was actually gifted to me from Aardvark Book Club. They sent me some of their picks for this month, and I think one of them from a previous month, so I just wanted to show them to you guys. They sent me Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead, which I actually already have a copy of this book, and I got it signed when I met Ashley Winstead, so I definitely don't need this extra copy. So surprise, I'm gonna do a giveaway for this video. If you want this Aardvark copy of Midnight is the Darkest Hour, all you have to do is comment down below, and I'm gonna be picking a random comment in the next week or so. If you include your Instagram handle in your comment and it gets chosen, I will DM you and get your address so I can send you this book. I've never done like a giveaway like this before, so I thought it would be fun because I definitely don't need this extra copy on my shelves, but I did love it and I would love for one of you to get a chance to read it. It is definitely not your typical thriller. It's dark, fantastical, romantic, Southern Gothic horror story that works through a lot of religious trauma and feminist commentary. That's my pitch. Don't go into it thinking it's a thriller, but even if you don't win the giveaway, you can still get this book, brand new, hardcover book for $4 if you use my Aardvark code. I will put it on the screen. I believe it's Hailey Ann, my Instagram handle. So use my Aardvark code to get this book or any of the other ones they sent me or any of the other ones on their website for only $4. Brand new, hardcover book. $4 including shipping. Yeah, kind of crazy. Use the code. It's amazing. They also sent over the fiction writer from Jillian Cantor. This is, I believe, a new thriller. It says, last night I dreamt I went to Malibu again. The once rising literary star Olivia Fitzgerald is down on her luck. Her most recent novel, a retelling of Daphne du Maurier's Rebecca was a flop, and now she's battling a bad case of writer's block. When her agent calls with a high-paying ghostwriting opportunity, she is all too willing to sign the NDA. At first, the job seems too good to be true. All she has to do is interview this guy, a reclusive mega-billionaire, who wants her to write a book about his late grandmother's surprising connection to Daphne du Maurier. But when Olivia arrives at his Malibu estate, nothing is as it seems. And as she digs into his family history, the more questions come up. Before long, she's caught in a tangled web of obsession, marital secrets, and stolen manuscripts. Ooh, it explores the slippery boundaries of creative freedom and whose story we have the right to tell. Oh, I can't wait for that commentary. I feel like this is gonna be good. And they also sent me What Waits in the Woods by Terry Parlato. This is another thriller. A young dancer's homecoming is marred by a grisly discovery and the realization nothing in her past may be quite what she believed. There's a detective perspective, and it seems like your standard domestic suspense. Honestly, the description kind of reminds me of What Lies in the Woods, and What Waits in the Woods is a very similar title, so I'm wondering if they're gonna be similar in a twist or structure at all. I did like What Lies in the Woods. It was like your very typical standard thriller. You kind of know what you're getting when you go in, and I think this is gonna be a similar experience. Aardvark does have books for literally every single type of reader, whether you want a thriller like the ones I just showed, or romance, fantasy, historical fiction, contemporary, nonfiction, whatever you're looking for, Aardvark probably has it. So use my code HAILEYAN for your first Aardvark book for $4. All right, now just moving on to books that I bought for myself. I ordered The Christmas Guest by Peter Swanson, this teeny tiny little thriller novella that's Christmas themed to read on Christmas, but unfortunately there was a delay with my Amazon package and it didn't come in until the first week of January. So I'm debating either saving it for next year or just reading it now. I don't know. I feel like it's still going to be wintry, fun atmosphere, so we will see. It's about an American student spending time at a British manor house over the course of Christmas, and she's learning the dark lore behind their not so charming, even if they're charming on the surface, Christmas traditions. I also took a little trip to Barnes & Noble to get some books that you guys actually recommended me. I know I'm the influencer here, but honestly, I feel like a lot of the time I'm being influenced by y'all because these were totally because of y'all. I got Nestlings by Nat Cassidy. I read Mary and I absolutely loved it. I gave it 5 stars. More on that when we get to my recent reads video. And this book is compared to Rosemary's Baby and Salem's Lot. The complicated birth of this couple's first child has left the wife paralyzed, bitter, and struggling with resentment for her husband and her baby. That's about to change with the words any New Yorker would love to hear: the affordable housing lottery. They won an apartment in one of Manhattan's most revered buildings. The husband dismisses disturbing events and his wife's deep unease and paranoia as the price of living in New York, but he cannot explain the needle-like bite marks on the baby. Ooh, see, this is like a haunted house story that I feel like I could get into. And then I also picked up 2 books from Darcy Coates. Everyone in my Patreon right now is just like obsessed with Darcy Coates. I read Dead of Winter and I absolutely loved it. So I literally stood in the aisles of Barnes & Noble reading every single other description on the back of Darcy Coates' books to see the other ones that I thought would be comparable to the plot of Dead of Winter that I would actually be interested in. She has a ton of haunted house books, but those just did not really appeal to me. So I tried to find the ones that she wrote that aren't about haunted houses, and I found Voices in the Snow about a woman who wakes up after an accident to find that she is isolated in a snowy cabin with a creepy man. And I also got Hunted about a boy who is looking for his missing sister, but the only trace they have of her is her camera, which was found in the woods, containing bizarre photos taken in the midst of her disappearance. Very excited for both of these. Voices in the Snow is actually my Pretty Girl book club pick this month over on Patreon. So if you want to read along with me, the link to join is down below. Also, I mentioned in one of my Christmas like content videos, I don't know, I was probably recommending like winter thrillers and stuff like that. I mentioned that one of my favorite Christmassy horror thriller books to read is Silent Night by R.L. Stine, the Fear Street Super Chiller, but I did not have a first edition first printing of that book, and I've been on the hunt for one because it's my favorite Fear Street book. Y'all, you came in clutch. This is why I always poll the audience to see if any of y'all know of where I can source things like this, because someone DM'd me after that video and was like, Hailey, I have one. I'm about to list it on my Pango store and you get first dibs. So I was able to get a first printing of Silent Night. I am so happy I have this. Thank you so much, wonderful viewer, for DMing me and letting me get first dibs on this book. I love it. It's in such good condition and this is one of my favorite books. So I'm so happy I have it for my first edition, first printing Fear Street collection. Next up, we have some more fantasy. I have the first two books in the Crescent City series. As I said, I want to get through kind of the whole SJM universe since I'm already invested with ACOTAR, and then of course reading Throne of Glass this month. I have the first one, The House of Earth and Blood, and the second one, The House of Sky and Breath, and I also pre-ordered the third book, which will be delivered to my home on the last day of January, so hopefully in February I can start up this series depending on how fast I'm able to get through Throne of Glass. But honestly, Crescent City is a 5-star prediction for me for 2024. The synopsis sounds absolutely phenomenal. It's about this party girl who kind of reads as like a Nesta-like character, which Nesta was my favorite character in the ACOTAR series, but a murder happens that kind of puts her party lifestyle on halt because it shakes the entirety of Crescent City, and afterwards she has this fallen angel to like be her bodyguard as she goes on all of her like fun little activities and nights out, but the past is haunting her, and her and this fallen angel bodyguard are fighting to unravel the mystery of this murder. However, the threads that they're tugging on are rippling through the entire underbelly of the city, across warring continents and down to the deepest levels of hell, where things that have been sleeping for millennia are now beginning to stir. I feel like this is the most excited I've ever been about just a fantasy synopsis. Usually when I read a fantasy book synopsis, I'm like a little overwhelmed. I don't really know what to expect. It's the lore of it all. It's like a little too much. But this, oh my God, like immediately right off the bat, I am hooked. These books look very massive, very intimidating, but I'm gonna try it out. I have high hopes, honestly. I also have Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. Of course, I got the black sprayed edges, like special edition ones, because I just think they're so beautiful. If I was gonna get this series, you know I had to get the pretty ones. And gosh, look at it. Oh, so beautiful. This is about like dragon smut or something or other. Honestly, I don't know. I've never read the synopsis. I want to go in blind to these books because I think that is the way that I could get the most enjoyment out of it. Everyone loves this. Everyone gives it 5 stars, unless there are people who like really want to be quirky and hate on it. I know virtually nothing about it, so when I do my vlog, just know I'm gonna have zero preconceived notions. I'm gonna go in completely blind. I know people are hating this one. I don't know anything about that. Hopefully I'm gonna have fun with this. I'm in my fantasy era. Yay. And all the rest of the books that I have in this haul are going to be things that I picked up while I was traveling over the holidays. Me and Cameron took a little day trip to a small little town outside Austin, and we had the just like most fun day. We did so much stuff. We ate so much food. It was honestly like a day out of a romance novel. It was so fun. And I picked up quite a few books at a small little adorable indie bookstore over there. If you live in Austin location or like one of the surrounding small towns. It's called Sunday Bookshop, and I took so many photos in there. It's so cute. They had such a good collection of thrillers, mysteries, horror, and indie published dark romance. Like, they had so much stuff that usually I feel like you can only buy on Amazon. It's like smaller authors, indie published authors. They had it in stock there, which I would so much rather buy from an indie than from Amazon, and I still want to support indie authors. I even saw some like things that bordered on extreme horror in there. Like, I don't know if it's technically extreme horror, but it was giving like indie published, you know what I mean? And that is so cool that they had it there. So I got kind of a mix of some stuff that I never heard of in my entire life, some stuff that was indie published that I've just been wanting, and some traditionally published stuff. First off, I got Wildfire by Hannah Grace. I have yet to read Icebreaker. I've been saying I'm gonna read it for like 3 months now. Maybe now's the time, I don't know, but when I do, I know that I want to read this one as well, the next book in the Maple Hills series, I believe that's what it's called. It's about these two Maple Hills students who have a passionate one-night stand and then completely lose touch, slip away from each other. But days later, they run into each other as their new jobs as summer camp counselors begin. I am so excited for this. I feel like it's gonna be a good spring read. Something about camp is giving very spring to me. So hopefully we'll get to it around then. Next up, okay. Y'all, please bear with me. We have Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. And the sequel, Hunting Adeline by H.G. Carlton. These I have never seen in a bookstore ever in my life. So when I saw them, I was like, it's a sign? They're following me from my Amazon suggested to right here in person. So I have both of these. I'm probably gonna make a reading vlog of them. This is an extremely, extremely dark romance. It is a stalker slash serial killer romance. Listen, you just have to know what you're getting into when you start to read one of these books. Obviously, nobody is saying that this should be romanticized, but is it fun, quirky, interesting, shocking, wild to read about that being romanticized? Yeah. So we're gonna get into it. Nobody's saying that this is morally right, but what I am saying is I think it sounds like a very fun time. Aspen has a hilarious vlog of herself reading this series, and it really, really, really made me want to pick it up. I actually watched her video where she was raving about it, and then back to back I watched someone's rant review video of these books, and I was just laughing. Okay, I was just laughing down. The way that Aspen was not taking it seriously at all, just getting shits and giggles out of it. And then I immediately watched someone who was like super triggered, dragging it to filth. It made me want to read it so fucking bad. I'm like, which side am I gonna end up on? Is this gonna trigger me boots, or am I going to live? We'll see. I don't know why like the queer the queer lingo was just popping off as I was describing that book. Maybe, I don't know. Is Haunting Adeline queer coded? Is our stalker giving by wife energy? I don't know. We will see. I also picked up Before We Say Goodbye by Toshikazu Kawaguchi, and this is the most recent translated work in the Before the Coffee Gets Cold series. I already read it. I read it the day or so after Christmas, and it completely broke me. I was sobbing. If you want an emotional, cathartic read just about like relationships and through a magical realism kind of lens, you will absolutely love this series. I eat every single one of them up. I always read them in one sitting. They're so good. Please, if you have not taken this recommendation from me, seriously, you have to read this book. The last story in here about the dad and the daughter, oh my god, I would literally, it talks about like a daughter getting married and like her relationship with her dad. I'm literally gonna cry thinking about it. I just got married. I like walking down the aisle with my dad was so emotional. I love this book. I just love it. Okay, moving on. We're not gonna cry today. Next up, I have some thrillers that I've literally never heard of in my life. Never heard of these thrillers. I am the thriller queen. I've read pretty much every traditionally published thriller out there. Like when I walk into a thriller section in any bookstore, it's very hard for me to actually find things to buy because I've either read it from the library, unhauled it because I hated it, or it's on my shelves. Like I'm just really running out of thrillers to read, and definitely running out of thrillers to buy, because I feel like every bookstore has the same fucking thrillers everybody's seen before. But Sunday Bookshop was doing it a little bit different because I found 3 that I've never heard of in my life. The first one is Such a Pretty Smile by Christy DeMeester. It's about this guy who is known as the Cur, C-U-R, Cur? I don't know. He leaves no trace except for the victims he viciously slays every 15 years. He targets young women who refuse to conform and do not know when to shut up. So the Cur would literally hate me and want me dead. We're following 2 timelines, one in 2019 and one in 2004, about different victims of this guy and trying to solve what happened to them and catch this killer. This is the line that sold me actually when I was reading the back in the bookstore. It says, brilliantly paced and unapologetically fierce, Such a Pretty Smile will make you want to stand up and rage at everyone who has ever told you to shut up and smile pretty. Yes. Feminine rage, catharsis, serial killer. Next up, I have No One Needs to Know by Lindsay Cameron. It's about a new social media called Urban Myth, launched as an alternative to the performative and show your best self platforms. It's an anonymous discussion board grouped by zip code, and the residents of Manhattan's exclusive Upper East Side disclose it all. Things they would never share with their friends and spouses. Secret bank accounts, steamy affairs, tidbits of juicy gossip. The same people who, as parents, go to astonishing lengths to ensure their children gain admission to the most prestigious boarding schools and university. So when a hacktivist group breaks into the forum and exposes the identities of each poster, the repercussions down Park Avenue echo with a force that none could have anticipated. And in its wake, someone ends up dead. What? Like, my rich people drama brain and my dark web lore brain are converging. I feel like this is gonna be American Kingpin, The Collective meets Good Rich People. Oh my god, I'm gonna love it. Speaking of, we have Neighborhood Watch by Sarah Rita. In this book, a killer terrorizes the morally bankrupt residents of an upscale neighborhood, leading them to turn to and on one another to survive. It's giving murder mystery in an exclusive little bitchy little town. I cannot wait. Eat the Rich. I want feminine rage and Eat the Rich. Like, that is always what I'm looking for. So those are all the books that I got at Sunday Bookshop. Everything else I got while I was visiting family in Louisiana. Louisiana has some like cool little bookstores that we don't really have in Texas. So I was book shopping down. I don't remember the specific place where I got each individual book, but I know that I went to Second and Charles, which is basically like another kind of half-price books kind of vibe. Like, they have some new stuff that's discounted and then some used books. And then I also went to Ollie's, which is like a bargain store. It was kind of giving me like Five Below, and I'm a Five Below girl. I love Five Below. I love Pop Shelf, and Ollie's was fitting right in to that niche of store, except Ollie's was a little unhinged. Like, Ollie's was a little crazy. Ollie's has a mascot. I'll put a picture of him here on the screen so you can see him. Yeah, he's giving like the Six Flags man. He's giving weird unhinged old man who's screaming at me to buy things for $2 that I do not need. And he's everywhere. Like, he's all over the store. If you've never been to an Ollie's, it's very overwhelming when you walk in. Like, his face is everywhere. You walk in, it's just this man everywhere. It's like if you would walk into Chick-fil-A and there was just 18 million cutouts of cows. You know what I mean? Like, it was crazy walking into that store. But they had books, like popular books, for $2. $2? Yeah, I got a lot of these books for $2. So if you're like, Hailey, damn, you need to calm down with the book buying, Miss Hall. Miss Consumerism. Shut up. They were literally $2. Did you want them to go to a landfill? No. Mr. Ollie wanted me to buy these, so shut the fuck up. So first we have some more fantasy. I believe this is YA, and it's from an author that I've read from before and I did not enjoy. I'm really giving this one a chance, but I am nervous about this one. So I read Ninth House 2-3 years ago, did not love it. Gave it 2 stars. I was just not into it. I felt like the romance was really forced. It was really boring. Every time I picked it up, I was falling asleep. It was just not my jam. And I believe that's by Leigh Bardugo. I'm giving her another shot with the Grishaverse duology, Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. I mostly want to read this because I'm in my fantasy era, number 1, but also number 2, y'all know I love an adaptation. And over on Patreon, I love making these book to movie adaptation comparison reviews where I review the book and then I watch the movie or the series and I review that in conjunction and tell you about the similarities and differences and which one I liked better. So I love making those, and I really want to make one of those videos with this duology because I've heard great things about the like Grishaverse adaptation on Netflix, the show. So I will probably do that with these, and I don't know anything about them, literally have no idea what happens in these books, but with fantasy, honestly, it's usually better for me to go in blind because I don't understand the synopsis when I read it anyway. Yeah. I also picked up the next 2 books in the Ice Planet Barbarian series. I liked the first one that I read. It was just like no thoughts, head empty, fun, alien smut. So I got the next 2 and hello, like, look at these ladies. Like, she's cute, but like, look at her. My god, I think we're gonna have some fun. And I got Keep Your Friends Close by Lucinda Berry. I love Lucinda Berry. I've read all but I believe 2 on her backlist, and I really want to do a breakdown author ranking video on Lucinda Berry this year. I feel like that's coming this spring or summer. This one is giving me all the summery vibes with the water and the palm fronds. It says a mom's night out has gone horribly wrong. President of the West Hollywood Moms Club turns up dead in her own pool, and it's clear that it's not an accident. All the guests that were at her party are now key suspects in her murder. Accusations fly, and 3 moms find themselves at the center of the investigation. They all have secrets to bear and possible motives for their friend's murder. Sinister plots, betrayals, and secrets are revealed as the women are interviewed by the police, and with everything at stake, deceit threatens to shatter their illusions of their perfect life. WeHo will never be the same. I love this hoity-toity rich people drama with mental health awareness that Lucinda Berry does. She is the queen. She is the master. I cannot wait. I also have Murder in the Family by Kara Hunter. People were talking about this in my Discord and it really made me want to pick it up. So when I saw it at one of these discount stores, I just had to get it. It says there's 1 body and 6 experts. Can you solve the case before they do? This sounds so interactive and fun. No one saw the killer, but they all saw the body. In December 2003, Luke Ryder, the stepfather of acclaimed filmmaker Guy Howard, was found dead in the garden of their suburban home. Guy was an only child asleep upstairs, and his mother and 2 half-sisters were also in the house but swear they saw nothing. Despite a high-profile police investigation, no suspect was ever charged, and Guy's family has been haunted ever since. Now, 20 years later, the sensational new streaming series Infamous is dedicated to investigating and perhaps cracking famous cold cases. The production team re-examines the testimony, re-interviews witnesses, and once again scours the evidence. The family will speak and the key players will be reunited. On camera, the truth will come out. Are you ready to see it? Ooh, it's gonna be so good. It's giving like true crime documentary, reality show, family drama, murder, mystery. You're trying to solve it as you're reading. Yes. I feel like this is gonna be such a quick read and just fly by. Like when I tell you, I peeked into this book, the amount of media, Oh, if you like a book with media inserts. Hello. Every other page, media, 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 media. I'm gonna feel like a little Nancy Drew, investigator queen. As I'm reading this, hopefully I figure out who the killer is before the end of the book. I will be really proud of myself. Next up, we have some more fantasy. I know. It's just the era that I'm in. I got From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout because this book lives in my mind. Like, I remember Manda from Ginger Snap Reads giving me the like lowdown on some of the scenes in this book on sprints in 2020. During the pandemic, she was telling me about this book and how she loved it. I believe it was her best book of the year that year, and she was telling me about it, and I was very fantasy resistant at that time in my life. But now that I'm in my fantasy era, I'm like, I'm gonna return to the one that piqued my interest all those years ago. So Amanda, this is because of you. I know virtually nothing about it other than what you told me during that sprint. And I'm excited to see if I like it. It's so fun discovering a new genre because like, I don't know what type of fantasy reader I am, and I get to figure it out with y'all. And in figuring that out, I'm getting all different types of fantasy books, including Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. And this is giving so cozy, so cute. I think it's gonna be perfect for like the transition from winter to spring. Ugh, doesn't this just look adorable to you? The little like blurb on the back that really got me says, "Take a break from epic battles and saving the world. This is my new comfort read. High fantasy and low stakes." Are you kidding me? This is so cute. Oh, okay, here we go. Okay, all the rest of these books actually are from Ollie's because they have the little Ollie's like sticker on them that says $2 or $3.99. Here's all my stuff from Ollie's. If you have an Ollie's near you and you want any of these books, go get it for $2 or $3. First up, we have Black Girls Must Be Magic by Jane Allen. I wanted the second book, which is this one, in this duology before I read both of them because I'm pretty sure I want to either do it in like some kind of duology vlog. I was thinking about a duology vlog. I don't know. I had like this crazy idea in my head where you could do like the Chandler Ainsley thing, choose your own adventure, but like with a duology. I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna work or if it will ever come to fruition, but that's an idea that I had. So I was saving it for that because I have the first one, Black Girls Must Die Exhausted, and now I have the second one, Black Girls Must Be Magic. I was very excited to find it at Ollie's. We will see if that video ever comes to fruition, but here it is. I also have another Fear Street collection. These like more modern published Fear Streets. I am collecting them, but I don't necessarily put them with my other Fear Street books. Like all the other ones, you can't even see them, but I have like a little shelf of them over here. They're all my first edition, first printings over here. This is obviously not going to go with those. These are the ones that I want to read. I would rather read from these than like damage the vintage copies that I have. So this one has multiple books in it. I believe two or three super thrillers. Yes, we have The Dead Boyfriend and Give Me a Kill, which is going to be like a cheerleader thriller. Next up, we have Eliza Starts a Rumor by Jane L. Rosen. I've had this on my TBR for forever. I don't think I've ever seen it in a bookstore until Mr. Ollie came up. So I'm very excited that I found it. It is just a cute little contemporary about being a woman and this girl who just does things. It's about Eliza. And she has a big problem. Since her twins set off for college, she's barely been able to leave her house. Desperate for connection, she invents a salacious post on a local discussion board, but is there more truth to it than she actually knows? A young mom across town thinks the scandalous story is about her. Charming and laugh out loud funny, Eliza Starts a Rumor is a fast-paced story of multiple women coming together to face their past and forge their futures. Female friendship, funny, dark, commentary on mental health. I'm here for it. I also picked up The Ravens by Cass Morgan and Danielle Page. This was one that Jess from Books Past Bedtime, one of my favorite people I have ever met from BookTube. She was one of the bridesmaids in my wedding. She loved this book. She talked about it like early BookTube days, and I was never interested in it because I wasn't a fantasy girl, but now that I am, I want to give it a read. And for $2, hell yeah, I will. It says only their sisterhood can save them. At first glance, the sisters of the ultra exclusive Kappa Rho Nu, the Ravens, seem like typical sorority girls. But the Ravens are not just regular sorority girls, they are witches. So it's giving AHS Coven, and they're all discovering their feminine power as well as their witchy powers. They're all coming together and they are going to protect their sisterhood from someone who will do anything to see these witches burn. It's giving YA fantasy, but I think it's gonna be like very cute, very witchy, very AHS Coven. And the last one that I got from Ollie's is I Have No Secrets by Penny Jolson. I feel like I always see this cover recommended to me in my like Amazon recommendations, but I've never read the description. When I read it, I was shook and I had to buy it, especially for $2. Like, come on. It says, here's a secret for you, and I know you won't tell anyone. He presses his face close to mine, so close I can feel his breath on my cheeks. They're never going to catch me. What? Gemma knows who the murderer is because he told her. He thought his secret was safe because Gemma cannot speak or move. But Gemma observes all kinds of things about everyone around her. His secret is just one of them. When new technology means she may be able to communicate again and reveal all she knows, she no longer feels powerless in the face of this deadly secret. It's a race against time before the killer acts again or tries to stop her. Okay, like, are we gonna get some disability rep in here? And is she gonna be the queen of the day? I'm excited for this one. And y'all, I thought that was all I had. I thought we were gonna end it on Mr. Ollie, but I found some thrillers that were hiding, hiding from me. I totally forgot that I wanted to talk about these because I had them in my stack to talk about in my TBR video, but they also belong in this haul. First one is The Guest by B.A. Paris. This was an ARC that was sent to me. Thank you so much to the publisher for sending me that. It's on sale the 20th of February, and it's about a couple who comes home to see their best friend has been staying in their house while they were on vacation, which is all fine and dandy, but she becomes increasingly obsessive. The husband catches her wearing his wife's clothes, and it's all around creepy and weird. I have The Engagement Party by Darby Kane, which is about these two deaths that took place on a college campus 15 years ago, and when a group of college friends all gets together for an engagement party, one of the attendees is trying to parse out the secrets behind the murders. And I have Perfect Little Lives by Amber and Danielle Brown, about two people whose pasts are unknowingly connected, and after overcoming the secrets and trauma that they've gone through, they're just trying to have normal, perfect suburban lives, but everything is coming back to the surface again when they uncover the way that their lives have intersected in the past. Those are the 3 books that I will probably include in this month's new release thriller vlog, so be on the lookout for that. And with that, those are all of the books that I had to haul for you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much again to anyone who sent or gifted me any of these books. Don't forget to go down below and check out Aardvark Book Club. My link will be there with my code to get your first book for only $4. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to go to therapy and read a book this week, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!